Hello everyone, my name is Bocheńska. I come from Poland, Warsaw, and it's a great pleasure to be here in such a great company to discuss best practices for incubation services. And I represent here TechHub, which as our one-liner goals, it's the global community for tech products, entrepreneurs and startups. And before I actually continue on this explaining you what do we actually understand by this, I would like to just give you a brief context on how we came into existence and why. So we were established in 2009 in London. It was right after the financial crisis hit UK as well badly, causing people losing their jobs, including financial services. And this in return resulted in boosting the entrepreneurial spirit, which was very crucial. However, people noticed that they're missing the actual place, the workplace, with the community there to support, with people that are actually working on the same thing. So that's how our co-founders found that it would be great to provide a workspace with actual community for tech startups. And the picture you can see here actually represents the so-called Silicon Roundabout in London. And what's interesting about this place that it used to be just like at the crossroads of different districts, different stakeholders, and that's why it was crucial that this place was just located in here when there was cheap rent, when there was also the financial people, and when there were clients. Another important aspect was when we entered in a partnership with Google for Entrepreneurs in 2012. Once they established their first campus in London, we came as their partners to provide this community for startups. And since then, wherever they open their location, they have currently 6 campuses all over the world. Like, we try to be there to build this community for startups. And currently we have 7 locations. First is in London. We have 2 offices there. Also in Swansea. We have one in Madrid. It's actually very busy, bustling. It's a huge, great community. The one in Warsaw that I come from, Riga, Bucharest, and one in India actually. So one outside of Europe. And yeah, so we know how and why. Now let's see what we actually do and how we collaborate with those startups. So it's easy to explain it on like what we are not and comparing to the already known concepts. So starting with serviced office, so we do have like all these basic facilities, including like the desk, chairs, and any office essentials, but we don't focus on this facilities itself because what we do focus on is people. So we know their names, we know what they're working on. It is the core what we do, the community. A very similar thing goes when it comes to co-working space. So we do have this open plan spaces. However, we don't rent desks. We actually guarantee the memberships, and then we choose our members. They have to fit our profile, which I will talk about later about. And we do care who is in there. So it's not only they pay, that's cool, but we have to make sure that like we have the right people in there. And when it comes to acceleration, the similarities include the events that we do, all the workshops and the resources that we provide that are helpful in this early stage startups. However, we don't invest in the startups. We don't take their equity. It's very flexible and like in terms of the timeline, in terms of like to which extent they actually want to use our services. And of course, like we care about their financial performance. However, it is all up to them, like how they eventually run the business. So they have lots of freedom. They just can use our supporting program. And something that is very important, and something that you already mentioned as well, that it's important to target yourself. It's important to choose your niche, and our niche is software companies. And so it's all the startups that have their piece of code, whether it's application, whether it's a website or the platform, doesn't matter the programming code. and language, but like they just have to have their own software that they're working on. So what's important about it is like it is narrow enough to provide the specialized support and understand the niche. However, we maintain diversity within it. So there are people that just started their entrepreneurial journey. There are the ones also that they're just like serial entrepreneurs, different backgrounds. So the diversity is there, so they can like exchange the knowledge and learn from each other. And yeah, something that I said, we had all the basic facilities of every co-working space, comfortable chairs, fast internet, all the kitchen appliances, meeting room, badges, like to access the space 24/7. But this is the basic. But where the real value comes is actually in these 4 elements. First one is the local support team. Normally, it consists of 3 people. First person cares about the community itself internally. So like this person like knows everyone and knows how to connect, to who to connect, and like what kind of challenges they're facing, what kind of needs they actually have. Second person is more like externally facing, that cares about the engagement with external stakeholders. And the third one is taking care of the programs, this developing programs, something like all the events and workshops. Then the second very important element is the local network, so people itself, right? So they know they have colleagues, and in the end they actually turn out to be one of their best friends they always can turn to. They have the problem, so a lot of that happens organically, but we also have other events that just like to facilitate this contact between the people that actually sit in the same space. We have the development program. I will talk more about it, and then we have this global network, as we have these locations all over the world, you can say already. So yeah, going to the development program, we normally divide it to 2 categories. First is community-led events, when the value is generated internally. So one of the examples of that, it's like the product testing and feedback. So we have events like beer and beta, when we casually just grab beer and then take our laptops and together we actually test new beta version or like new platform of our colleague, and providing with the feedback saying like, no, this just doesn't work, like what kind of a bug you have here, or like maybe you should improve it this way. So this is like a really great example in like a very casual setting, and this is a great way to collect feedback already for your project. We also have demo nights, when this is more like in the setting for like more than 100 people, where people actually show it to external people, when they can have the Q&A session as well, and they can collect feedback on their ready working products, and they can actually get clients to try it. Then the second thing is the finding talent and collaborators. There are lots of specialists in the space, so they really exchange their fields, and this is how the lots of people like started like collaborating and exchanging knowledge. And we also have many examples of our members that started like sharing sessions. So they will organize like marketing events where our marketing specialist is saying like how to improve their particular case. So we're working on our particular cases. Then we help to promote through our social media and like any other channel that we have our followers. The second category is the expert-led events. So we actually reach out to experts in different fields. So it's from legal to finance to marketing, and then they have discounts if they actually decide to collaborate. But the first like consultancy, for example, is for free. We of course do the investor engagement. It happens in a way that we will connect to the given investor, but we also organize investor coffee mornings, when people like 10, 12 people, they just sit in one room with the investor, where they can say like what they're working on, what is their profile, what are their expectations. So even though they are not in the place where they're already looking for it, it is already important to establish this relationship and know expectations from the investor side, actually. Yeah, we do also like engagement with corporations and the clients, and then there are lots of mentoring sessions with the experts externally. So the global network, just want to visualize that and want to highlight that if someone is the member of TechHub in Poland, it can go work in London as well if it needs to be, and like someone can have the company located in India but raise their funds in London, and they have the developers in Warsaw. So this is all possible in the tech world, right? Yes, and going to financial sustainability. So the first point is that like we concentrate to actually minimize dependence on external investors. Where this is like to minimize the risk and raise the sustainability. And then how we actually get our funds, instead of like taking the equity from the startups, we charge a membership fee, which is on a yearly or monthly basis. And for this fees, we actually we reinvest in developing the community. The third aspect is that when we choose our potential markets, we always make sure that this is the market that has the already genuine need for this kind of services, and then we adapt that to the local needs. So it's not standardized, but it's always tailor-made to the given market, because they are just so different in terms of the size, in terms of the pricing. Always have to do the proper market research before entering one market. And then we also do partnerships with corporations. As I mentioned before, we have this partnership with Google, where the partnerships normally they're on non-monetary basis, so they provide with the working space in terms of Google. And when it comes to BT, it's more like mentorship and yeah, just like the client base. And this is purely like non-monetary partnership. And yeah, when it comes to conclusions, I would like to just leave you with these 3 main points, we just actually already mentioned before. So what worked for us was definitely to pick our niche, and then like to work on developing the deep understanding of it. So like as we said, it's like do one thing, but do it like consistently better than any other in the market. The second one is that like how important it is to actually have the strategy for meaningful engagement with external and internal stakeholders. This is something that can happen organically, but like there's lots of things that have to be sparkled. So when the sparkle actually happens, then the magic happens. So that's very, very important to facilitate it and have the clear view on like who you want to engage with and like in which way. And yeah, this sounds like cliche and a pretty trivial thing, but like without this element, without picking the right people, like the point 1 or 2 are just like very hard to achieve. And it's just like I couldn't underline more like the value of the people, right? So both your people for the team, with the community spirit, with the understanding of the startup ecosystem, and all both like internally. So we don't only look for the product fit of the tech startups, we look for the people that understand that how important it is to collaborate, the contribution. So with the mindset of more like give then take. So we try to assess this every single time we look through their applications, because we ask them to fill in the application, and then we meet them personally every single time before we actually allow someone in our space. Yes. So just to show you one more people, smiling people, more enthusiasm, that I hope that will infect you all here, and will leave you with a positive spirit for the rest of the day. And I would like to thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Katarzyna. Adrian, would you like to stand up or stay there?